Do you think the character model was actually like very distracting in not a good way? Because like with the camera angles chosen, it just felt like this game seems like a game that came out in like 002 in terms of its, like character design. It's like a bit old and not flattering, I don't think, for a modern audience. In comparison to something like Forspoken.
Oh, wait, you serious? Let me laugh even harder.
So I finished watching Sony's State of Play, and I didn't find it that interesting. That's me personally, right? The thing is, like, most games were already announced, kind of. Some games are not exclusive to Sony, not surprised. And let's say there's like 3 games I would say that are most interesting. So we're having Silent Hill, not the American version, but the Japanese version. That's kind of, and when I say kind of, I say kind of interesting, because we all know what's happening with Japanese company right now. We have Death Stranding 2, who looks interesting, but we already know that it's gonna come on PC anyways, so it's not really a Sony exclusive. Last time it was supposed to be a 6 months, 9-month exclusive, and then survive 3 months while being exclusive to PlayStation. So that's coming on PC. There's nothing to say about this. And the MVP from Shift Up, Stellar Blade, with the animation, the design, and everything that comes with it. Those are the things that are most interesting of the State of Play. I won't talk about the rest because, I just don't. But for Stellar Blade, I would say that I'm strongly interested. Not that I will buy a PlayStation 5 for it, but let's say that if they bring it to PlayStation 4, I will buy the game, because I already have my PlayStation 4 and I have my little collection, a big one, but I'm interested. And the part I find most interesting about Stellar Blade is not the ad, the movement and everything, is people foaming out the mouth just because the main character looks good. We already had like people from Digital Foundry that were mad because she looked good, and let's say that there's that. The thing is that, in my opinion, I think that they are losing grasp. They're losing. What the fuck am I saying? They have lost grasp on reality, right? Because there is a good-looking woman in a game from a company that's not American. What a surprise! It's not really. They are getting mad. They're calling people names because they're interested. And the thing is, like, at the end of the day, some games are there for young boys, right? When I say young boys, I'm thinking like teenage boys. Some games are here for teenage boys, and I think that the last few years, games that were coming from America didn't have anything for teenage boys. And I know it because I can see it. And the thing is, like, no, I'm not a teenager no more for like a long time now. But the thing is, like, I used to be a teenager too, right? Like, no bitches. Still have no bitches, but no bitches. Low money. I can decide one game each year or something like that. Going to school, and the only relief that I have as a teenager was my comic books, my manga and anime, and my video games. And I know that at that time, being a geek or nerd, call it like you want, was frowned upon. And now it's kind of cool. But the thing is, like, the nerd reject that's a loner and who used to have an outlet doesn't have any outlet no more, because before you were rejected by girls, but at least you had like your virtual one. But now the virtual one looks like this. So, yeah, there's a reason why there's a hype for Stellar Blade, you know. And the thing is, like, I don't see the same vitriol or hatred on the other side. Like, the best example that I have is, for every chick flick or, you know, romantic movie with, like, love triangle, right? There's never, like, an ugly fat dude with a 300-pound linebacker with a good-looking woman trying to deciding between the fat dude and the 300-pound linebacker, right? There's never that, because they know their audience, right? And I thought about that while I was listening to someone. I forget the video, sadly I lost it, and he was talking about the fact that that his kid saw Leon Kennedy and immediately fall in love with it because she find that he looks kind of good. And it's funny because I think it's normal, right? But when it happened the other way, I mean, like, a teenage boy watching a star in love having, like, his teenage crush, it's so frowned upon right now that I don't know how to describe it. Like, you know, you can see it what they do with every other character. Like, they're covering up, they're hiding every trait of her and everything. Like, girl can have, like, their teenage crush on some character or some OC or some actor, but boy, if they have, like, the stuff that they used to have in, like, the 1920s poster of I don't know, Britney Spears or Mariah Carey or any other woman, like, this is frowned upon. And I can see it, like, with a lot of shonen that are demonized for having, like, good looking female character, and how Jujutsu Kaisen is, like, the perfect shonen right now because yeah, you know, women are covered up, have a good personality and everything else, and I'm like, I guess, but, like, the fact that you like it is just a bonus. It's a bonus. It's not for you first. Like, I see the number of women who are drawing after those characters, like Gojo or I'd like to say that Stellar Blade looks pretty good, and I'm strongly interested in it. And the fact that Yoko Taro approve is a good thing. I will say that it makes me think of Nier Automata, right? I don't know. There's a vibe of Nier Automata, like, inspired, not like a copy or anything, but can't wait to see this game coming out and can't wait to play it. Will not buy a PlayStation. If I could, I'd buy 2 copies just to piss people off more. The more that I sell, the better it is. I want it to be the game of the year. Like, make people remember that we as an audience exist. That doesn't mean that we should have all women that looks like men as character. It's okay from time to time to have some variant, and most of the time I will not buy it. I don't care, but doesn't mean that. It's like one thing that I learned, the fact that the medium chest size wasn't A but was D, and every game coming out has like an A cup, and you're like, shut the fuck up, can we get some heavier set? But that's a story for another time. Yeah, and thanks for watching. Be a little bit evil and stay passionate. And before I go, I forget to talk about the part where a lot of feminists were fired in Korean studio, and that's because they were attacking the fans, and the Korean company decided that their fans are more important than the feminists that wanted their agenda in their games. So yeah, that happened too. So when you hear about people getting fired from Shift Up because they're feminists, it's more because they have been warned and asked not to put their agenda or the politics in the games that they created, and they didn't want to. So because they didn't want to not do it, they were fired. And I remember it just because, like, when people are talking about it, they're like, it was two months ago. And I'm like, I remember the story of feminists getting fired from Korean company because they were attacking the paying fans. So you don't do that, right? They had new contract and they refused to sign. So if they have been fired, that means that they didn't want to sign the contract. And in that case, that's on them. Also, there's the fact that I find it strange, the fact that we didn't hear about Stellar Blade until Jim Ryan stepped down and the new Japanese CEO came to Sony. And I'm not saying that there's a link between those two, but I will not be surprised if there is a link between those two. You see what I mean?